Welcome to part 9 of our PICO-8 series, and today we are going to implement a few more things in our Boulder Dash clone rocks. The first thing we want to do is that we get a little closer to the original Boulder Dash and that you can actually collect a diamond or remove soil by pressing the fire button and then moving in that direction without moving. So it only takes away the diamond or the soil, but the character stays in place. So this will be the first thing we do in this episode. And then we are going and create this iconic Boulder Dash screen, which has the scrolling background. And yeah, let's do this. First, let's move to our player stuff file, and here we have our movement, which is right now this button press and button press left and button press right. And what we want to do is we want to check if this button is pressed. We don't want to go immediately there. We want to check if the fire button or the X button is pressed. And for that we go and say if the button and then Shift X, then it is very important that you don't use button press or BTNP, but instead button, because BTNP only returns the press state if it's pressed right now. So you may have pressed that button and it's not pressed anymore. So that is very important because it doesn't work any other way around. Okay, so if that is the case, we want to do something different, and else we want to just go there. So that is pretty much that. And then we have to go here, and what we want to do is we want to check if there is soil or if there's an emerald or if there's nothing. And if there's soil, so if mget at player X, and we are checking to the left, so it's player 1.x minus 1, player 1.y, and if this is equals soil, which we have defined in our map stuff, I guess, yeah, here it is. If this is sprite number 49, then we want to go and we want to, no, there's no end. We want to go and we want to just remove that soil. So mset at that same position, and we want to put an empty field there. So by doing this, let's put an empty for now. We should now be able to push the X button and quickly go here and left, and as you can see, it's removed. That works. Great. That is that. And we have a second case, and that is if there's a diamond. So if, and now we do an fget, we get the flag of the element which we then get. If fget of mget at that position is a diamond, which we have defined here. So if this flag is a 1, which works then with every diamond you define just by putting a 1 flag there, then we want to go and we want to play, pretty much we want to do what we do when we collect a diamond here, which is we play the sound effect 1. We want to increase the number of diamonds we already have collected. We want to increase the player score. And we want to set an empty tile. which is the same as up here. Okay, that should be it. So let's try this. There's an error. Okay, that's my mistake. It should be else if. Then it works. Let's try again. Exactly. So if we go here and we hold the fire button and press left, that should go. Yeah, it works. Just like in Boulder Dash. Nice. Okay, now we have to do the same for all the 4 directions, but this is pretty much a copy and paste issue. So we go here and we copy this whole thing and we put it up here and we put another and here, and we have to check for x plus 1 instead of minus 1 because we are now checking to the right. Okay, so let's see, that should do the trick to the right. So if I press the fire button, I can remove the empty field, and if I press this, I can remove the diamond and have to run to get not bitten by this bug. So now we do the same for up and down. And up and down right now is only this little piece of code here, so we have to edit that. Put at least a then here and put in our code from before, player 1.x, and now we have the same on the y coordinate, and we're going up, so we have to check for minus 1. Minus 1, and the same here. Okay, so now we should be able to do the same up. Let's check x. Yeah, works. Works too. Finally, we have to do all this for the down version of this, which is here. Put it then here. And here, copy this here, and put another end here, and then we do the same as before, but with plus 1 on the y side. You can already see this is not very optimized code. We will do one sitting with some code optimization, but not right now. So let's check. Holding fire, going down works, and holding fire, going down works. Nice. Okay, so that is at least much more Boulder Dashy than before. Now we want to do a start screen, and that is not very complicated, but we have to do quite some work here. So the first thing we have to do is we have to edit our update and our draw function, because if we are on the start screen, we want to draw the start screen, and if we are in the game, we want to draw the game screen, and if the game's over, we want to draw the end screen. What we want to add is we want to add a show start screen, and that is true, because if we start the game, we want to show the start screen. Then we want to go, and we will keep the update running, or the update timer, even if we are on the start screen. But we only want to do this right here if the game is active. So if game active is true, then do that. And else if show start screen is true, then we will do this function in a minute. We will call check start screen controls, and if that is not true, So if game active is false and we don't have a start screen, then we want to draw, right now we want to do nothing because we can't restart the game. We will implement this later. So we will just leave this as a to-do. So what we have to implement now is this check SC controls, and we will put this right here. Okay. And what we want to do is we want if we're on the start screen and someone actually presses the fire button, we want to start a new game. So if button press fire, which is X, Shift X, then we want to call new one player game. So we have to implement that function too. And what we do on new one player game is we tell it to not show the start screen anymore. Set game active to true, which should be false when we start right here. So we have to change this. We set game one, which is only set if we have won the game, to false. And we do level equals 1 and player 1.score equals 0. It's called player 1 underscore score here, so we should maybe use this. Let's see. So right now it's drawing game over because we didn't add it to the draw function, but we're not starting a game immediately, which is good. Let's check the draw function. So in the draw function, if a game is active true, then we draw the map and do all the game stuff. If game 1 is false, then we do this. And if the game is won and the game active is false, we show the you win screen. But we do have another one, and that is our start screen. So what we do now is we have this, which is correct. In case you're wondering, I have some debug information here where we'll just uncomment that. This is just so that I can print stuff on the screen while the game is running, and if I put something in debug text, it will be shown above all the other stuff. So you can use this very simple function or call to just show debug information like score or position or anything like this. So what we have here is else if game active is false and show start screen is true. So no game is active and we want to show the start screen, then draw start screen. And we have to implement that function. That's not there yet. So let's go and do that. So let's just see if this works. No, it doesn't. Again, the then. Okay, so we get a black screen because we don't draw anything on the screen. Nice. So let's draw this iconic Boulder Dash screen, which I guess moves up. And we have the logo on top and stuff like that. So what we want to do is we have a sprite for that, for the background, which is 54, this one. And we want to draw the whole screen full of these sprites and then move that whole plane up and let it rotate around the screen, so to say. So for that, we need a few variables. The first would be bg counter, which we set to 0, and the second would be bgy, which we set to 8. And I will get to y in a minute. Let's this down here so we know all of this belongs to the start screen. Okay, let's maybe start by putting the logo on the screen, because this is a quite interesting use of sprites. If you have downloaded the file already from the other sessions, you may have noticed that there's more than one sprite sheet. On sprite sheet 1, there's all the numbers we need for the scoreboard, and on sprite sheet 2, there's this rocks logo, which you can zoom into by turning the mouse wheel in my case. And we want to display this logo on the start screen. So we need to know which sprite this is, which is 128, and we could go and put every single sprite on the screen. But what you can do in PICO-8 is you can just say start here and then go X sprites here and Y sprites here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 2. So we have a width of 7 and a height of 2. And that is what we are going to tell PICO-8. So we go and say spur. So we want to draw a sprite. We start at 128 and at position 4D50, and we want to go 7 width and 2 height. Draws the logo on the screen, just like that. We want to do some copyright information. Not that it is very important, but we tell it that it is a game by Retro is the new black. And we do this at 1470. And we want, of course, to tell the people or the player how to start a game. So press X for 1, play a game. And we put this at 22,100. So here we go. Well, it looks a bit off. Oh, let's just move it a little to the front. Still not. Okay, that looks better. Good, so now we have technically a start screen, and since we have already implemented the fire button, we can press X and it starts a new game. So what happens is, in the update function we have show start screen true, and we go and check for SC controls, and SC controls is down here, and if we press the X button we set these variables, so we don't show the start screen anymore, we say game active, and that leads to the draw function and the update function now doing the game. So let's see what happens if we die. Game over. Nice. So this is a standard PICO-8 menu, which you get if you press return here. So maybe we should add a new game function at the game over screen. Okay. This is right here. What happens if we lose? So we could practically use the same function, because let's just put this right here if we die. So if we die now, start, we get the same message, and we can with X. Oh, okay, there's a little problem here. Seems. So it does seem that we missed something in our new game function. There are a lot of variables up here, so we should probably set all of these down here. So level 1 we have num diamonds we don't have, min diamonds we don't have, level timer we don't have, and player 1 score we have. Okay, so that is that. Let's check. If we press X, we die, press X, still flickering. Something tells this game that we are still dead. Okay, the problem here is not in the variables, but that we continuously die, because this thing has, the rock has still velocity, we are still in the same position. So what we have to do is we also have to reset the player position, which is this right here, and we have to default that back. So we should probably simply call init player 1 once. Is it like that? No, it's another underscore. So let's see what happens now. We die, and we don't die. look at that. But the level is still in shambles, so we have to reset the level or the map. Yeah, that is not so easy because we go in the game and we manipulate the map. So the initial map from the start is not there anymore. So we will cross that bridge if we get to the level stuff and different levels. For now, let's just say we can start a new game, but the level remains in the state it has been before. So what we have now, let's quickly recap. We have a start screen, but we don't have this iconic Boulder Dash scroller. So let's see if we can get that off. So we go to our draw start screen function. And since we are going to draw a background, we draw this before we draw this. Oh, so the logo on and the text goes on top of that. And what I want to do is I want to draw the sprite number. Let's quickly check again. I draw sprite number 54 in a plane. So what we have to do is we have to do for 2 loops. Y equals 0 to 16 do. Man. In that loop we have an X loop, which is also 16 do. And now we have to draw the sprite, which is per 54. And we draw this at X by 8, Y by 8. And that should give us the background. Let's check. Oh, look at that. There's the background, but it's not moving. It's a static background, which is nice. Now we want to move it. We use our BGY, which then moves the whole map just 1 pixel up. So what we have here is we only have to move the map 8 pixels, because if we have it moved 8 pixels, the piece on the bottom scrolls up and we have the next row. And we only have to move 8 pixels up, 8 pixels up, 8 pixels up. And this gives us this rotating illusion. So we will subtract the BGY, and now we have to take care that BGY is always subtracted by 1 until we go to 0, and then we rotate. So let's do that up here. BGY minus equals 1. So we subtract this all the time when draw start screen is called. And if BGY is smaller than or equals 0, then we set it to BGY equals 8. So we start at 8 and we subtract 1. And if we are at 0, we go and do that. Let's see. Okay, that looks interesting. It's the wrong direction, but we will take it for now. And it may be a bit fast. So we have to put some kind of pause or buffer in there so that we, let's say, call it every 3rd call or so. So for that we have our BG counter variable defined up here. And through that we can control the speed. So we increase this counter. And only if BG counter is greater than 2, then we want to do all that here. If it's greater than 2, then we also have to reset it to 0. That should be it. Let's see. Yeah. That's much more Boulder Dashy. Okay. I think I like it. I think we will let it leave it like that. We could do the other direction, but I kind of like it. Don't have to copy Boulder Dash. And it looks nice. So we have a start screen, we have a game, we have enemies, we have emeralds, we have all that stuff. But one thing we don't have is a little bit more animation and action on the screen. So in the next episode we are going to add animation, that the player is really moving and moving the arms and legs and not moving in that choppy 8 pixel blocks and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching and until next time. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching Retro is the New Black. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you like the video, please share. Every like, share, and comment helps a lot. Until next time, bye-bye.